All right, so today's meeting is about our project deliverable for the interior design. It's due this Friday and it's Monday right now.
So far all that we've really completed on the project deliverable is our chart, which kind of just defined the characteristics of the three designs for our aircraft, which it includes the characteristic costs and dimensions.
Yeah, and the way we did that is we relied a lot on the common object database that was in one of the modules, but for some of our design criteria and stuff, we had to find outside sources. So I think the chart includes, like we said, like size, cost, but we also started to consider how much of everything we needed, and that was helpful in starting to consider the layout, like where things would go in our plane.
Yeah, so what we still need to complete to finish our project deliverable on time is the design capabilities, the choices for interior design, and then the orthographic drawings and our design matrix, which will help us decide which mission profile we're going to go with.
And with the design matrix, we have to take into consideration the different criteria that we've already listed out, which were, I believe, cost, endurance, speed, and what other?
Cargo capacity, human capacity, and endurance.
So we have to decide between whether or not we want a large plane that only fits a large retardant tank so that we can just demolish a fire as we go. With all of these, they do have the similarity in which they have communications devices, which we want to have throughout all of them so that they can transfer telemetry back and forth between the fire trips. We also have the larger plane that has a smaller tank but also has a crew, and then a small plane that only has a small tank and a smaller crew so that we can have more trips.
Yeah. And so, what were we just talking about? Criteria?
Yeah, we just went with the criteria. For the orthographic drawings, though, we did run into a little bit of a snag in which we don't necessarily have it quite clear if we should do it on CAD or just freehand it. So we're going to talk to Professor Zhu this Wednesday during lecture to see how exactly she wants it. If she does want it in CAD, I'm going to try and learn Autodesk, but more than likely than not, I'll just renew my SolidWorks license and then try and work with it through there since I know that one a little bit better. If not, then we can just meet up again and then do some freehand drawings.
And then within that too, we're not sure, especially with Autodesk, like if this is necessarily something that we need to do, especially for all three designs, if we're only going to move forward with one design, to completely like model it in 3 dimensions and then do the drawings after that. So if it's not something that we need to do, then just to kind of get like a basic understanding of where the components of the plane would be and how the dimensions play into that.
Yeah, and so once we start to get those designs like more specific and well defined, I think our decision matrix will definitely play a heavy role in our decision. That was smart. But it's just because we have 2 of our planes are kind of similar, but overall we have 3 very different planes. Like, could get a tiny plane with a little tank, or a huge huge plane with a huge tank, and just trying to decide between whether or not we want something that can just put out entire fires, or something that's more specific and like can take you to more remote locations more frequently and maybe get around the state a bit quicker and easier. And so that's something that I guess we'll find out once we complete that.
And then in order to finish the project deliverable on time, we're going to split up the remaining tasks in the project deliverable, which are like the things that are left are the design capabilities, interior design choices, and orthographic drawings, then obviously the design matrix after the drawing. So we're going to split those up just so that we can finish it on time. So basically we have all of the information for design capabilities and the interior design, which we just have to kind of put it into formal writing. So I'll look at the chart and the bulleted list that we made for the designs, and I can just type those up. And then the orthographic drawings we will figure out after talking to Professor Zhu.
And
But if that works with SolidWorks, then I'm assuming Alejandro
Yeah, I can take charge on that.
work on that.
and I will wrap up the decision matrix, design decision matrix. I'll do that thing because I already had started to put together the table of like sizes and stuff, so we have like a rough idea of how well each plane would fit each requirement.
And then if we're able to figure everything out on Wednesday, that'll help keep us on track, like with our Gantt chart and everything, because we want to stay ahead in the project. That way, if something comes up, then at least by staying ahead, we'll at least like be on track in the overall scheme of it.
I think we also need to update the Gantt chart because I was reading through the requirements that Professor Dirk put up, and he has a lot more comm assignments than we thought of. So like we need to update and like add in that we need to include the group meetings and include some other stuff that he included there too. So there's more stuff that we have to play around with there.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff.
Well, yeah. Now we have our rules.
Figured out what needs to be done.
And my task.